press. Well. Ooh. Nobody around. Let's see here. Book riot. Savage. Let's see here. Child of night, born of angels, with silver blood and awful skin. Darkness fair, darkness savage, now cloaks her soul with deadly sin. In the twilight she will rise, and open eyes to worlds that lie, hungry to carve castles from ash and bone, doomed to crush the rooms of earth alone. Darkness, savage darkness atoned. What horror now awaits? The end at last has come. Well, that's interesting. Insanity. I'm burning. I can't read that. 'Cause my black is beautiful. And the color of my... Yeah, I've read that before. I buried my worries beneath the cold earth, hoping they would not rise up to haunt me. But in the middle of the night, they found me in my bed, dragging me to the dark place underneath the world where dreams can't speak and demons taunt as they play twisted games with my soul. Christy and Martine. Interesting. Whispers in the dark. Your eyes are hollow, your heart is shallow, and your words mean nothing to me. A lifetime of lies. All the schemes you devise will eventually lead to your demise. Hell is waiting for you. Interesting. Wow, I'm 71 on guys. Coldly playing around, perfect lover though it seems. I care, I hide, and drink deeply of your waters to quench the flames inside. That sounds so... I passed that woman on the stairs. I'm not sure she was even there. Since I only walked away, I think I see her every day. Nothing burns so badly as emotion, hurt and loss, hidden in a private hell. Your burden and your cross. All the times I told myself, oh, okay, I'll be fine. Now I know I lied. Feels like I truly died inside. Words are like keys. If you choose them right, they can open any heart and shut any mouth. Interesting. Salvation. Well, will I ever find salvation? Maybe when I can get redemption for crimes committed. A soul filled with blasphemy, a mind courting insanity, no rest for the wicked, ever Tranquilized, paralyzed, it's calling my name to darkness. It tries to lure me in. Memories are haunting and taunting. Taunting. The darkness comes closer. This has to stop. Just give up. And when death takes me in his cold arms, gentle, I am not longer afraid. Finally, salvation. By Just Patty. Interesting. You're an angel of destruction. Your ultimate goal would be to see the world in pieces. Rage and destruction feeds off you, and you have a negative energy that manages to imitate most people. Cruel, heartless, and often alone. You see yourself as better than most people. You reach your own goals and remain independently, hating the rest of the world. They say follow your heart, but if your heart is in a million pieces, which piece do you follow? That makes sense. But, I mean, your heart isn't really in a million pieces. It just feels that way. Hello, people. And number 68. And I think there's people left. Scattered pieces of my heart laying around, shadows of my soul haunting the world, sharps splinters of my smile gone forever, lost whispers of my insanity haunting the night, wandering emptiness of my thoughts, killing me, black fragments of my future, suffocating love, broken bits of my life, annihilating what's left of me. The chains of your taste life and blinding my black wings. I am unable to fly, unable to be free, and unable to heal. She walks along the shores forlorn, eyes clouded with tears, her heart now torn. Her love was lost in the sea so green, his ship gone down, never to be seen. The torrent storms tore the sails apart. The ship was doomed from the very start. Of blackened skies and seas of swell, the ship now gone to its watery hell. Day after day she returns to the shore where her lover rests on the ocean floor. As she lifts her head and gently leers, her silk and kerchief now laden with tears. The imprints of her feet now washing away as the gentle waves roll along the bay. Tomorrow she'll return to be with her love as the storm skies roll in from above. Hello, people. You guys really was one person. Hi, Kaya. I'm just reading some poetry, obviously, well, dark poetry. Hiding away on this dark and dreary day, no one can see me now. I'll search within myself somehow for something that makes sense in life's false pretense. Time just slips away, with the sky a dismal ashen gray. My numbness won't allow me to feel right now. Cynically in my own defense, happiness is now past tense. Nothing left for me to say on this dark and dreary day. Anger. Mad as hell, trying to conceal my temper, fighting to contain my actions. Anger blood red. Thoughts are running wild, spinning out of control. Betrayal so harsh, the untold truth is choking. Feelings are darkening, furious beyond words. Who are you, stranger? A web of lies strangling my heart, tears tasting bitter, but the fault is my own for trusting too easily. Get a grip, let it go, hoping love will conquer my rage. Eventually, if the truth is revealed and the why is discovered. Drifting on the surface, she wears a little gown. Her body feels so cold, soaked up by the water, like the stories untold. Here are there with some scars. Her hands so violet. It's the and that she chose. It's too late to regret. Her eyes are wide open. The look she has is sad. No desire to live. She chooses to be dead. Really? It's so sad. Ooh. Dark was the only light. Sweet dreams were broken when I looked upon the sky. Hateful words spoken. I thought to say my goodbyes. Down the hole I went where the dark was the only light. The frown I resent, the bright day barely in sight. Deep in my sad mind where I laid down on the grass, where I tried to find whatever can truly last. I looked at the sky where dark and gray clouds come in. The rain starts to fly down upon my weathered skin. When I close my eyes and let the dark enclose me, now there's softened cries as I die by the green tree. Really? Death isn't really dark. Why does everybody think death is so dark? It's not dark. It actually is a totally new adventure. Like, seriously, I don't fear death. And in fearing death, I don't fear living. I got 4 notifications on Twitter. Hello, Creative Carrot. Hello, Choose. Thank you for the likes, by the way. 50th. Amy. Salvation. Shit. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Images, let's see here. We're gonna find one that I can read. Okay, you know what? The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Whoa, hello, God loves you, serious? Hello, person. Does God really love me? God loves me, he's watching. Okay. Trying to get it upon the raven. One of my favorite poems by Edgar Allan. Well, one of my favorite poems of all time. It doesn't matter who the poet is, but it is by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered wicked and weary over a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone lay gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis a visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wore its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I sought to borrow from the books secretes of sorrow for the lost of Nor, for the rare and radiant maiden who the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silk and satin certain rustling of each purple curtain filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is, I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faint you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more." Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. Only word there spoken as the whispered word Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo muttered back the word Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely this is something on my window lattice. Let me see." Then, with there it is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, then with a many flirt and flutter, in there stepped the stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least of sting made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with the mien of lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a busted palace just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. This ebony bird, belittling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the contents it wore, though thy chest be sworn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lord name is on the night's Plutonian shore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl, to hear discourse so plainly through his answer little meaning, little relevance bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet has blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculpted bust above his chamber door, with such name as nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the pallid bust, spoke only that one word, as if in his soul that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by a reply so abruptly spoken. Doubtless, said I, what it utters is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom a merciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his son one burden bore, till this the girls of his hopes that melancholy burden bore of nevermore. But the raven still belittling my sad fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself into linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fire eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat dividing, with my head at ease reclining on the cushioned velvet lining that the lamp gloated o'er, but those velvet violet lining with the lamp light gloating o'er, she shall press nevermore. Then methought the air grew dense, her perfume from an unseen censers, swung by a seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite and nephew from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff this kind of nephew, and forget this loss of Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, are thing of evil, prophet still, bird or devil, rather tempest toss thee here ashore, desolate yet undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by the heaven that bent above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Eden it shall clasp a Satan maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, who the angels name Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign in parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven never flirting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, and his eyes have always seen every demon that is dreaming, and the lamp light o'er him streaming throws a shadow on the floor, and from my soul the shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Oh boy. 48. 10:47. Probably because people are leaving. It's 10:30. If you deny what I do, I am the best, for my talents are renowned far and wide. When it comes to surprises in the moonlit night, I excel without ever even trying. The slightest little effort of my ghost-like chimes, I've seen groan and give it a shriek. A wave of my hand and a well-placed moan, I have swept the very bravest off their feet. Yet year after year, it's the same routine, and I grow so weary with the sound of the screams, and I, Jack, a pumpkin king, has grown so tired of the same old thing. Somewhere deep inside of these bones, an emptiness is going to grow. Something out there far from my home, a longing that I've never known. I'm a master of fright and a demon of light, and I'll scare you right out of your pants. To a guy in Kentucky, I'm Mr. Unlucky, and I'm known throughout England and France. And since I am dead, I can take off my head to recite Shakespearean quotations. No animal, no man, you'll scream like I can with the fury of my recitations. And who here would ever understand the Pumpkin King with the skeleton grin would tire of his crown if they only understood? He'd give it all up if he only could. There's an empty place in my bones that calls out to something unknown. Year after year, there's nothing for these empty tears. Refunding, a simple test to reveal your deepest fear. It reminds me of Pirates from Undertale for some reason. What went wrong with Harry Potter and the Cursed Child? Seriously? 5 frightening forests you should never visit. Hello, Guybrush. Anybody want to guess? Just don't really care. Hello, Spellbound. I wish to possess you. I want to make you mine. Let me be your captor, hold you up and bind. Everything of you is what I really seek. Nothing more satisfies me than when I see you just meek. Seriously. That's just... yeah. I said I'd write a story about you just to get it over with, and now I'm writing hundreds of letters. I should rather think of getting better than sitting around waiting for you to come around. I hate to say this, but I'm so... For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams. It's so beautiful and... no. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved in secret between the shadows and the soul. I actually like that. It's unspoken. Tick tock, my heart that feels the beat all day, all night, keeps on repeat. But may my highest motive be, it should be plain for all to see. I stalked from being quiet and feeling let it go. Wanted to share what I hold dear, but never tried to come in near. Why life feels like it is not fair. I felt like drowned into despair. I tried to wipe away the tears that had been felt throughout the years. I'll open up my heart above, but still keep the feelings I have. My heart kept clean by high desire, not controlled by anger's fire. I now speak truly in each word of mine. My heart's desire shall be fulfilled. My love for you is a flowing flame that keeps myself far for me to blame. knocking at my door. I cover my ears and run, can't take it anymore. Just wishing it was done and feel it creeping up on me. I shiver and try to hide, but I know I can see. It's right there on my side. I can smell its rotting breath. I close my eyes inside. There's only death. Out there I'll roll the dice. I can see it coming to close me in. I'm screaming silently. This fight I cannot win. Darkness is consuming me. Yesterday I was because you're with me. Yesterday I was smiling. Today I am crying. Yesterday I was loving because you're laughing. Yesterday I was hoping. Today I am enduring. Yesterday all was good because you understood. Yesterday I seemed fair. Today I am frozen and broken beyond repair. I don't know. So depressing. Bury me deep in your heart and let me in the dark. Don't let me in the light, never let me go. Hold me tight. Don't ever let me go away. Please be with me and stay. I don't want to be buried. I want to be buried in your heart. Yet it's so dark. Even though you love to hate, I feel as if this is fate. Please love me as I do you. Please make my only dream come true. I sleep in silence. I dream in darkness. Just hold me tight, keep me away from the light, bury me in the dark inside of your heart. I have one person watching. I feel so loved. I'm not on here for attention or love, so it's all good. There's a place that I know. It's not pretty there, and few have ever gone. If I show it to you now, will it make you run away? Even if I try to push you out, will you return? Everybody's got a dark side. Can you love mine? Nobody is a picture perfect, but we're worth it. Will you love me, even with my dark side? Ooh. Insanity. Burning in the flames of new love, you'll always find ashes of the old love with an unforgettable smell of lost emotions. Until the stars have blinked their last, whenever on this earth you walk, he will arouse, excite, inspire my love. Dark fire. Dragon mouth spell. Honestly, I don't want it. I'm gonna be pagan, but I don't believe in casting spells because what you send out comes back on you. It's just like the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Like, honestly, I have a gloomy little spider. I love to sit down close beside her. She never knows where she has been, because all she does is spin and spin. My spider's quite a busy, which is why I call her Homer. She loves to work and spin all day, and then at night she likes to play. Her web is like my mother's hair. Her eyes have gotten got my father's store. She may not jump or twist or bend, but a spider is a girl's best friend. Wednesday Addams. Interesting. Be vulnerable. Love anything and your heart will certainly be run and possibly broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give your heart to no one, not even an animal. Wrap it carefully around with hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in the casket or coffin of your own selfishness. But in that casket, safe, dark, motionless, airless, it will change. It will not be broken. It will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable. The only place outside heaven you can be perfectly safe from all dangers and love is hell. Without you, the brightest of stars seem dreary. Without you, the happiest of moments seem blurry. Without you, the weakest of pains seem strong. Without you, even the best opportunities seem wrong. Without you, the fondest of memories seem faded. Without you, life's journeys is dark and jaded. You know, this is, like, I don't understand why people feel that way when they break up with people. Sometimes, maybe that relationship wasn't right or whatever. I don't know. But you can't be dependent on a person. You have to just depend on yourself. Honestly, there isn't anybody that can do something that you can't do for yourself. If you love yourself, then you know what? Then you're able to love others. But I don't know. I'm not gonna get all philosophical. Loving me will not be easy. It will be war. You will hold the gun and I'll hand you the bullets. So breathe and embrace the beauty of the massacre that lies ahead. LeChuck strikes back. Hello. Whoa. I don't understand when people feel like they're dying when a relationship ends. I don't know. To me, I just think it's a learning experience. For the next, not just for you, but for them as well. But this is me. I guess. I guess I'm trying to think of the positive beyond the negative. Number 52. Well, the number's gonna be here, like I'm just gonna go. Yeah. says I have one person watching. But yeah, it's showing nobody in my audience. It's all good. I'm not lit. I'm not drunk. Whatever, I'm just gonna go watch a show. Later. Adios. Nobody wants to guess or nothing. Bye bye.